Right, so we've had the Bailey Adamo for just about 2 weeks now, and we thought we'd come and start doing the full review. So welcome to this full review. What we're going to do is we're going to take you around the van. We're going to start with the outside and we'll show you everything about the van, and if you've got any questions or anything, leave them in the comments and we'll try and answer them, but hopefully we'll cover everything.
Yeah, okay.
We've had a good 2 weeks out using the van in all sorts of circumstances, so I think we know a fair bit about the van, and if we don't cover it, at least we can answer some of your questions. So let's start with a look around the outside of the van.
Yep, okay then.
Okay. So here is the van, and we'll start at the front. We'll start with the engine. So opening the bonnet is a 1-2 process. You go 1, 2, and that opens the bonnet. So inside the bonnet, oil filler, windscreen washer fluid, brake, dipstick, moving over, I never get that off, that's the jump start point, and the other jump start point is the earth point there, and you've got your radiator fluid there. So,
and then all the rest of
it. Bailey have decided to make all the Adamos Fords, automatic transmission, cruise control, so you get all the goodies. This particular model has added headlamp protectors, mirror armour for the wing mirrors, and rubber mats to keep your floor nice and clean.
And they're from Prima Leisure, aren't they?
Yes, Prima Leisure have provided those extras. Just quick mention for the windscreen wipers that work really well. There's no triangle of doom. If anyone's familiar with the Hubnut channel, they will always criticise any windscreen wipers that leave a triangle at the top. It'd be really irritating. Interestingly, you've got a flexible aerial here. We didn't really notice it until after the first day we were using it.
But radio reception's been quite good, hasn't it? The usual problem you have sometimes with DAB, with it disappearing, but no, it's been quite clear. And
alloy wheels.
With locking wheel nuts.
With locking wheel nuts, yeah. Which is nice to see. You don't have to specify anything extra, you get locking wheel nuts.
What size are the wheels?
They are 16 inch, they're 235, 65 R16Cs, and they're providing Michelin, I think the Michelin Agilis tyres. You will notice that it's quite, I'm sorry about this, you can tell we've used it.
Yeah.
You will notice there's quite a bit that protrudes beyond the cab. The cab itself is quite narrow, but the body does protrude a little bit, so you do need to be aware of that. And the other thing I would say, the mirrors stick out a fair way.
But that gives you the confidence that if you can get the mirrors through, you can get the rest of you through.
As we demonstrated at Bolton Abbey.
Yeah,
so a bit like cat's whiskers. If you can get it through there, you can get the rest of the vehicle through. Got the Adamo logo on the side. Nice big windows in the lounge area there. You've got the Truma vent here, and always a good idea not to let that get blocked when it starts snowing. We haven't got that problem at the moment.
No.
Marker lights. Got a nice big LPG locker here. So to unlock it, push it in, and it comes open. There's space for 2 11-kilogram bottles in there, which I think is brilliant. You can see obviously it's quite tall in there. There is no travel crash sensor, so you do have to turn the gas off when you're travelling with this van for safety reasons. So moving around to the back, what we have here is a huge garage, and this is a pretty impressive garage for a vehicle that's not that big, and you can see it goes all the way through to the back. You notice it doesn't go all the way up to the top. That's because there is a cupboard over the garage, and we'll come on to that in a minute. But what did you think of this garage?
Well, we should have had it a bit tidier perhaps, but we've been able to put lots of stuff in there, and we've been able to put our bedding in there, and we've been able to leave the dog crates made up.
Yeah.
Which you can't always do because of the lack of space.
That's right.
So that's been easier when we've been moving.
It's been a brilliant space, really.
Yeah.
And I've been very impressed with the garage. You'll notice up the top there's hanging space as well. So I think the idea is you could put your wet clothes or something in there, assuming you don't have anything underneath that you don't want to get wet.
Quite. This is nice that you've got this.
It's got a little catch
there. A bit like they do on the Caravans, isn't it? The Caravan doors often have that.
Yeah, just to stop it banging. So here's the garage from the other side. I will point out two things. You've got tie-down straps, so if you need to put bikes or anything in there, you've got that. You've also got a dog in there. Hello. You have got access from the inside.
Hello. You're demonstrating.
So you've got 240 volts and you've got 12 volts there. And like we say, we can fit the two dogs' crates in there lovely with all our bedding. Probably ought to put the bedding in the inside cupboard. We'll come on to that later. We've got a nice light there as well, which can illuminate your dogs.
Tara, stay there.
Stay. There's provision for a bike rack on the back. Seem to have lost these were missing when it arrived, so just a note to Bailey, need to add those back on. You've got a rear view camera. It's a wide angle rear view camera. There's no provision for tow bar on this van. It's not in the specifications, so do bear that in mind if you're thinking of towing with this vehicle. You can't have a tow bar. Your toilet cassette's in here. So it's a standard Thetford cassette. I think if you've ever used Motorhome, that's your standard toilet cassette. Next to that is your fresh water inlet, and that is a whale connector, so you need the whale type connector to put fresh water into that. It also is powered, so you can power a pump, so if you want to use an aqua roll or something with a pump on it, you can pump water into it as well. A lot of these are still quite stiff, these things. Notice you've got two fridge vents there, so it's quite a big fridge, as you can work out from that. Step up, what do you think of the step up?
It's been okay, yeah.
You with the little legs?
Yeah, no, it's been all right. I managed to get in and out, so no, it's not been a problem.
You can see how tall it is, because we're just using our step here for our old legs.
Yeah.
To get in there, but it's not too bad stepping into
You've got a rail inside that you can hang on to as well.
Yeah.
It's in the door there.
You can't really see at the moment, but
Tara demonstrating that for you.
I'll be with you in a minute, girls. And electric points here. You've got your filler and your AdBlue cap here, so yeah, so you've got your filler cap and your AdBlue. And we were a little bit puzzled by this when we first saw this, because I thought, does it mean we've got to leave the door open whilst we're filling up? Well, no, because you can
close it.
Close the door,
yeah,
and you can fill up, as long as you remember, obviously, to open the door.
To close it again.
And close the filler caps, like that.
We haven't had to do the AdBlue, have we? Haven't had any warnings?
No, we've not had any warnings on the AdBlue. Right, better get this dog back inside now.
Yeah.
So just to talk about the door, it is a hardtail door, and it's got quite a big window in it with a blind on it.
Yeah.
So that's quite good, and it feels quite solid.
Yeah, we don't have any problems with it, and also you've got
awning
fly
light
screen.
above.
Yeah, awning light's good.
Yeah.
And you've got a fly screen inside the door, haven't you? That's working perfectly.
Yeah. So inside the door, nice fly screen.
Yeah.
As well.
No, it's no problems with the door, have we? I can't. What were you, a bin?
Bin. I must admit, we never use this sort of bin. I just find it fills up so quickly. But it's there if you do need to use it.
It's going to come out again.
All right. Sorry, see you later. Never work with dogs and children.
Yeah, so that brings us round to the
front
again,
really. Yeah, yeah.
We're now round to your favourite bit, aren't we? The cab.
The cab, yeah. It's been an absolute joy to drive, and really, really enjoyed it. Automatic transmission, nice, powerful engine, and yeah.
It's almost car-like.
It is.
It's sort of.
It is. And
you don't feel like you're sitting in a van. You feel like you're sitting in a. Well, I think we called it a big Cougar, didn't we?
Yeah.
So it feels.
Bit like, well, yeah, possibly a bit more like a Ranger, maybe, but.
Yeah. And
yeah.
It has
been
nice to sit in, nice to drive along in.
And it's pretty well specified, isn't it? You've even got fog lights there. You know.
And it's a nice big windscreen, isn't it?
It's a tall windscreen. We were quite surprised. You're not, when you're sitting in the cab, you're not peering over, you know, or peering under, I should say, to see out.
No.
The visibility is excellent.
Yeah.
Even Bailey Bear can see out.
Yeah, yeah.
So anything else you want to add, Jen?
I think so. I mean, it's ready to go abroad if it wants to, isn't it? It's got the UK plate.
Yeah, it's actually got the UK sticker on it.
Yeah.
Just wanted to show you what we got on the roof. So for that, I'm standing on some steps, and you'll notice there's an 80-watt solar panel on the roof here. There is plenty of space for other solar panels, should you so require. In the corner of the roof, you've got the aerial. So you've got the status aerial. So just before we do the review of the living area, I just want to go through some of the specs. So it's 4-berth and there are 4 travel seats. It's a Ford cab, metallic silver. The engine is 160 brake horsepower. It's a 1995cc Euro 6D engine. It's a Ford Transit skeletal chassis. There's no approved tow bar. It's MTPLM. Its maximum weight, that is 3,500, so it can be driven on most B-class car licenses. Its mass in running order is 3,090 kilograms, and if you take one away from the other, that gives you a payload, and that's the amount of stuff you can put in the vehicle of 410 kilograms. Its on-the-road price is £62,299. The optional extras you can get with the van are bespoke bedding set to coordinate with the soft furnishings. That's £229.99. You can get a 4-year extension to the standard 6-year body shell integrity warranty. Gives you 10 years in total for an extra £265. And you can get a 3-year extension to the standard 3-year manufacturer's warranty, and that gives you 6 years in total for £849. The overall body length is 6.987 metres, or in old money 27 feet 11 inches. The overall cab width, and that's with the mirrors folded, is 2.379 metres, or 7 feet 10 inches. The overall habitation width, and that's including the marker lights, is 2.315 metres. That's 7 foot 7 inches. Overall height is 2.849 metres, and that's 9 foot 4. The tyre sizes, as we already said, is 235, 65R, R16C. It's Class 3 thermal insulation grade. It can hold 2 11 kilogram gas bottles. Its wastewater tank is 100 litres, as is its freshwater tank. Its bed sizes, which are always the important thing, are 2.22 metres by 1.295 metres. That's 7 foot 3 by 4 foot 3. And that's for the front double make-up bed. But the front drop-down double bed, which I think is what most people are going to be using, is 1.84 metres by 1.56 metres. And that's 6 foot 1 by 5 foot 1. And to be honest, I'm under 6 foot, I'm about 5'11", but there is plenty of space either end of the bed, so it feels longer than 6'1". I'm not sure why it says 6'1", but the beds seem to be pretty long. It's also important to add that the payload figure that you get is taken from the MRO figure, the mass in running order, which is an allowance made for the essential habitation equipment, and that allowance includes a vehicle driver of 75 kilograms, 90% fuel capacity, which is 81 kilograms, one gas bottle, and the fluids in the heating system if fitted. There's no fluids in the heating system here, so, and that's calculated with the fresh water tank empty. So they recommend that you don't travel with a fresh water tank full. So anything that you add above one driver, one gas bottle, is included in your payroll. So in your payload. So if you add 2 dogs, another gas bottle, and so on, that uses your payload. So do bear that in mind. A quick addendum to the specs. It's important to realise that you can't upplate this vehicle. This is its maximum weight, 3,500 kilograms. So even if you've got a C1 licence like me, you can't upgrade the vehicle weight by changing the VIN plate. So do bear that in mind. Right, we're back at Southport, and we're going to do the rest of the full review. We're going to spend some time indoors. We've closed all the curtains off and put all the lights on so we don't get, hopefully, too many distractions. So I'm going to take you through everything about the van, everything that we've found out about the van, good and bad, things that we love, things that we hate, things that we'd change if it was ours, things we'd like Bailey to change, and we'll see how we get on. I'm going to start with the cab, actually. One of the nicest things about this motorhome is the cab, is the driving experience. It's a Ford cab and it's been really good to drive. I really enjoyed it. I like the automatic transmission, and coupled with cruise control, it makes it a real motorway mile muncher. So we've got climate control, we've got the on-off switch, we've got demisting controls, we've got recirculating controls, the air conditioning itself, and where to position the airflow. And we've got a heated front screen. I don't know if you notice on any of the videos, you might have seen some wavy lines in the footage we've been filming out of the window. And that's because it's got a heated front screen. The temperature controls are here, hot and cold, that's nice and simple, and the fan controls are there. Just moving to the left hand side, there's the auto stop start on off, so you can switch the stop start off. On this side you've got the traction control mode, and you've got an eco mode, which I confess I've never used. And just under that is the hazard lights. Thing for the passenger airbag, to tell you whether it's activated or deactivated. There is a USB socket here, which is okay, but it's not enough power to power a dash cam, as I found out. So it's probably a 1.5 amp USB. 12 volt socket here, if you need a 12 volt socket. Down below there's a pocket, and there's pockets everywhere. I'm not going to see that down there, but you've got cup holders, another cup holder, and you've got pockets all along the top there, and where they've positioned their rear view screen. Just come back to the gear lever. So it's an automatic, I think it's 6-speed automatic. I'm not honestly sure about that. And it's got a manual mode, or a mad mode, as someone said, and if you put it in M mode you can up and down, just like Nigel Schumacher. On the steering wheel you've got steering wheel controls, and you've got your cruise control, so that cancels cruise control, that switches it on. There's a limiter, and the limiter works instead of the cruise control, so you could say I only want to travel at 60 miles an hour. You can set the limiter with that. set it that way, reduce it that way, and if you're using the cruise control, you can increase speed, decrease speed. If you touch the brake, the cruise control's cancelled, press resume, and you're back up to speed. That's been really, really good. And it changes the automatic gears without you really knowing. You come to a big steep hill with cruise control on, it just changes down for you. That's been a real time and effort saver. On the other side are the radio controls and the phone controls. You change channel, and you've also got the menu here, so I'll show you a little bit about the menu in a minute. Sort of traditional wiper stalk arrangements. You can see it, there we are. So left indicator and hazards and flashing, that sort of thing on there. All fairly standard stuff. It has got automatic wipers, so you leave it on the first position. So if that's off, that's the first position, that's auto wipers. And it's got this black box up here that does all sorts of clever wizardry and switches the wipers on when you need it.
Is it in there?
Yeah, that's where that big black box is.
Oh.
And that's also, I think it's also monitoring the light for the automatic headlights as well. Right, so down here are the light controls. You've got front and rear fog lights. You've got a button that you press in and that adjusts the headlamp levelling. So you can go up and down with that if you're dazzling people. You've got the illumination for the dashboard, up and down on the illumination of the dashboard. You've got lights off, side lights, headlights, auto lights, and that's basically it. 4 positions. 4. I tended to leave it on auto lights. Over here is the wing mirror adjuster. So you put it on that for the right hand one, and you can adjust the wing mirror on that, obviously the left one. There is no adjustment for the lower one, the wide angle one, which is a bit of a strange thing. So I've been sort of looking at that, and I thought I needed to adjust it, but I think you have to do that manually, which I think is a bit of a drop off. The window winder controls are on that side for both windows there, which is quite useful. Obviously you've got the pedals down there, 2 pedals, stop and go. So just look up here in this sort of well, I've got my own Avtex Tourer 2 sat nav. It doesn't come with a built-in sat nav.
No, you can get a unit, can't you?
You can get a unit that replaces this unit here. This is just a standard DAB radio, but it's got Bluetooth, so you can hook it up and we can play our Napster tunes on it, which has been quite nice. But yes, you can get a Ford sat-nav dedicated unit. So I don't know what that's like, whether it's any good or not. I couldn't possibly comment.
No.
There's another screen over here, and that is the rear view camera. Now if I can just bring you back to sort of my point of view here. I'm driving, I can see our sat nav quite easily, but I'm missing about 3/4 of the screen on that rear view camera. So it would be a much better idea if they did away with this redundant rear view mirror and put a screen up there. I think that's a real drop off.
And that you couldn't move that, could you?
And you can't move it because it's glued in, which I think, yeah, like I say, is a bit of a drop off. I think the dealer fitted that, I may be wrong, but over there's another pocket. You've got all your sort of heater vents, usual sort of stuff there, one there, yeah, one here and one there. It's all good Ford stuff. Leather trim steering wheel, which is really nice to hold.
Is the dash quite clear as you?
Yeah, we'll have a look at the dash. We'll go through the dashboard menu in a minute. Great big glove box. It's a huge glove box.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice and deep in there. And plenty of pockets for your Lucozade and your porter.
There is, yeah.
Up here you've got the controls for the lights. And just above here, if I can show it, you've got some pockets. And just above that, you've got a shelf And just above that, you've got another shelf. Yeah, so this is the dashboard. It's quite nice and clear. It's not configurable. It's not one of these fancy ones. It's just lit up. So you've got rev count on one side and speedo on the other. In the middle, you've got an information panel. And the information panel is controlled by this button here. So if you press that, it gets you into the menu. And on the menu, if I go OK, it gives you various sort of options: trip computer, fuel economy. What do you want to see on there? I want to see instant fuel. I want to see tyre pressure. So I hit the back button and it goes back to that. If I just use the up and down button, it goes to instant fuel, speedo, start stop, and it's got a tyre pressure monitor. I don't really like this. It actually tells you what the tyre pressures are.
All right.
So that's really good to know.
Yes.
Rather than just warning you when it's about to blow up. It's got a trip odometer and it tells you the average fuel. Now, we've been hacking down the motorway today, but the fuel has remained around about 26.5 to 26 per gallon. So I think that's fairly sort of standard figure for most motorhomes. And it tells you the distance to empty and so on. So all really useful.
Very informative, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a DAB radio. Like I say, it's got Bluetooth on it. I think you press that. Yeah, you've got the Bluetooth audio. Remember, I must delete my phone off there. But yeah, that's all good stuff. So the cab seats are really, really comfortable. This is a really comfortable place to be. And I feel like I could drive for hundreds of miles with this van. It's changing gear for you. Really, you just got to sit there and steer and make sure you don't crash into things.
It's very car-like in a way, isn't it? It's and the windscreen seems very big. You've got good visibility. Obviously, not with the cover on at the moment, but
No, I think it's difficult to show this, but let's move the huge sun blinds out of the way. But from my sort of eye line, my eye line is about there. So I've got a really good view out of there. I think you don't have that problem, do you?
No. No problem being too tall.
But yes, there's a really good view. There's plenty of footage of us driving, and you'll see that I've got a big grin on my face. The seats are fairly firm, but they are very comfortable.
I have struggled a bit swivelling these cab seats round.
Yeah, because you're doing it when we arrive on site, aren't you?
They're okay the other way round. You know, once you've got them swiveled and you want to put them back to normal, they haven't had too much of a problem.
Yeah.
But I've found that you've got to get it right, whether you've moved it back far enough or forward enough before you actually start trying to move the chair, because the bar for moving them forward and
moving backwards and forwards,
there.
that bar doesn't move.
No.
But the lever
for the
actual swivel
is under here,
which does move.
Yeah, and we've had a couple of occasions where it's sort of locked halfway round.
Yeah, and you can't seem to move it, and all of a sudden it frees itself.
That's right. So that's
weird.
taken a bit of getting used to, but once they're swiveled, is that the right word? Swiveled round.
Yeah, once they're swiveled, they're fairly
fine.
good.
They're on a level, more or less, with the other seats, which is nice. You're not sitting too high up or low down or anything. You become part of the group again.
Yeah. See, I've locked this one in that position.
You've locked that one in that position. I had that one perfectly okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what you've done there.
And then I can't.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
This bar is like a release mechanism, and then you can move it.
Yeah.
I think the tendency is to hold the bar out. So that's swivelling it, and now you can see that it's hitting the steering wheel.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you do is you then drop the steering wheel.
You're down, yeah.
And then you still find that.
Yeah, and then if you think you need to move it forward, because the bar to move it forward is
is
the
there, so you think, but they can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah, it's just a fiddle.
Yeah, just takes a bit of getting used to.
Yeah, but then once obviously you're swiveled, you're at the, you've got the adjustable table.
Yeah.
And the adjustable dog.
That's right.
And you're straight into the lounge.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it, Tara? So like I said earlier, you've got plenty of little pockets here where you can put your knickknacks and various bits and bobs and all the other things that you haven't got names for. So we've got a manual and my bag and Poppy's dreaded red bag up there. This is a bit of an open shelf, so you wouldn't want to put anything on there. But I just want to say something about this sunroof here. It's nice having a sunroof. I quite like the idea of having a sunroof, but this one whistles. Drives us absolutely nuts. You get up to motorway speeds and it's whistling. But if you can hear this, there's a bit of a whistle from the sunroof, isn't it?
Yeah, there is.
I'm doing about 64 miles an hour.
Well, I mean, you've had a look at it, haven't you? Made sure all the catches are
it's
shut
not,
and...
Yeah, it's not that the seal, there's anything wrong with the seals, it's all closed off. Okay, now this is a demo van. It's one of the early models that they produced. I think they produced in 2019, they built it in 2019, and there are one or two trim issues. Now, people would not like me if I didn't mention it. There is a trim issue here. This is a bit of a loose trim here. I don't know if you can see, there's a gap there. That trim doesn't fit properly.
Right.
So it may be because it was pre-production, they didn't measure that right. Hopefully, when you get your new model, it will fit properly there. Just moving into the lounge now, whilst we're talking about trim issues. These panels are quite nice. Quite like this. It's better than having curtains, but that can drive you nuts. When
I sat in that one, but strangely, this one
that
doesn't
one
do
doesn't.
it.
No. So it's just a screw that's come loose. So.
Yeah.
But I need to point that out because that needs fixing. But there's been nothing really major fallen off it, apart from one thing.
One thing.
One thing fell off. And it's this light under here. I had to stick it back with a bit of sticky tape. It just crashed onto the thing. It's just a little...
Yeah,
this
put
thing
it back and it fell down again, didn't it?
Yeah, so I've stuck it up with a bit of Gorilla Tape.
But apart from that...
Apart from that, build quality is pretty good. I mean, the cupboards feel solid.
Yeah.
They feel solid. I mean, there's not that many cupboards in here, really.
No.
Right, so what did you think of the sofas?
The sofas are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are. I think my favourite part of the whole van is the lounge.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that it's a very, very sociable area. Like I've said, those two chairs, turn round. They're comfortable to sit on. I've lounged on both of them and they're reasonably comfortable, aren't they, Tara?
Yeah. This is quite a nice long one, isn't it? You can.
Yeah.
I can get my feet on here if there wasn't a dog in the way.
Yeah. And the position of the TV, although I thought it was a bit high to begin with, has been fine, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can sort of move it out and it's just a nice area and we've had 6 people in here and then we've had 4 people in here and it's just been very nice. This star of the lounge, though, got to be the table.
Well, yeah, I think it's along with the cab. It's one of the stars of the motorhome.
Yeah, it's very clever.
It's very flexible. You can have it in almost any position that you like. It goes up, it goes down, it goes across. Let me just demonstrate the table. The lever there, you pull it up, and you can move it around. You can put it that way.
Yeah.
It's got a pull-out thing there, and that makes a huge table. And come over here. You go to this button here,
and there it goes.
and then it goes up.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the great thing about it is when you're travelling and you lower it right down and you fold it like we had it then, it feels quite safe because sometimes with, for tables left up you sort of worry about people sitting near it, don't you?
Yeah.
But this has got a very clever travel position, hasn't it?
Yeah, and when you're travelling they say to put it down. to about there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's out of the way as well.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
you can still get past it.
Yeah,
You know, and that's what I really like.
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to take the table home, won't we?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's screwed to the floor. Yeah. Yes, no, it's nice.
Yeah, so can't demonstrate the travel seats. And now I think the fact that you've got travel seats in this van makes it quite versatile. And I think I compared this van to a Motorhomes Swiss Army knife.
Yeah,
You've got
yeah.
two good sized sofas with travel seats, with a fixed table, with a spacious lounge. So top marks for that.
Then when I mean, we've made 2 films, haven't we? Taking 2 different sets of friends
Yeah,
out with us. I've sat both sides, so
Yeah.
I've experienced, what it's
Yeah.
like, and it's quite nice to travel in. They're very comfortable,
yeah,
and when you get somewhere, you're all 4 of you can still feel like you're sitting in a group.
yeah,
Even though
Yeah.
you're just sitting in 2 chairs here.
that's right.
Or you can fold them away if you're staying longer somewhere and go back to your sofas for a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So even with them out, you've still got a reasonable lounge to use when there's 4 of you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I asked the question, could 4 people live in here? Now the problem is that we couldn't make the bed up. There is a lower bed here, and we'll come on to the beds in a minute, but there is a lower bed here that's made up by moving some cushions about.
I think the trouble is we're missing a vital bit.
So the thing that we've used the most of for sleeping is the drop down bed.
Yes.
And over here are the controls. Let's see if I can show you how you operate the controls. To come down, you press the down button. And you get a dog very worried. It's got 2 positions. About there, and it actually stops at that position. You put a ladder on and you can climb into that, and you've got a drop down bed with a reasonable amount of headroom. And
We haven't tried it in that position.
we haven't tried it in that position, but we have tried it in the bottom position.
But
in
it's very
bottom
comfortable. This is a nice mattress.
It's a
isn't
good
it?
thick
and
mattress.
It's got these.
And it's got
Slats.
some wooden slats which are bowed upwards, which helps, and it's very, very comfortable.
We haven't had any issues with failures or anything, have we? It's
No.
worked perfectly.
We put it up, press the button. Someone said it does creak. Yeah, I think it does. I don't think you can help that.
It works properly.
It's worked and we've had no trouble with it. These lights are very bright.
Yes.
One quick tip is, if you don't like these lights above on the bed, drop the bed a bit and they switch off.
Switch off. Yeah. Yeah. Tried keeping our duvets up there, didn't we?
Yeah.
On top of the mattress.
Yeah, there's not really enough room to keep pillows and duvets up there. What we thought the lights weren't working. We put it up,
And the lights came on.
and the
Yeah.
lights came on. But what we found was that with the duvets up there, because the outside of the van's cold, we got a bit condensation on the duvet, didn't we?
We did. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had to take the bedding off. So that's a bit of a disappointment that you can't leave the bedding on the duvet. Whilst I've got the bed down, I just want to comment on this bit of trim here. That's come loose. It's supposed to be sticky tape under there, and it's not sticking. So that needs fixing. Hello.
Hello. And Poppy worried.
Hello, pups. I think Bailey are famous for having USB lights. They've got these USB lights here and over there, which are quite nice. And they are 2-position lights, so they've got 2 brightnesses. They've got a USB socket there and a USB socket there. But one thing I wish they'd done was I wish they'd moved it to about there, like an inch to the right, and then you could get a USB socket in there, because you can see there's hardly any room to get another socket in there. It has got a nice shelf just above, so you can plug your phone in there and charge things up there, and that works really well. Same over there. And you can drop the bed down and the bed does go past that, so you don't knock your phone off
No, that's
when you
right.
drop the bed. Unless you leave the lead dangling,
Yes, then you might.
then you might drop it. So Jenny's going to describe how the heating controls work, and it is Truma and it is iNet ready, although it hasn't got iNet fitted.
Right.
Okay.
Okay then, so I come in
Yeah.
and I press that.
Yeah. And it's
then-
got an error message on it. That's because we switched the power off without switching it off first.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that.
So it's flashing on the motorhome one, isn't
Yeah.
it? And it's telling me
The temperature.
the temperature.
Yeah.
It's flashing on the motorhome, so you now select that,
Yeah.
and that's the temperature
no,
you've got set.
Yeah, and you can turn the dial to adjust the
Yeah, you can
temperature.
turn it up or you can turn it down.
Yeah.
You want to leave
And
it
when
on
Yeah.
leave it on 18.
So to set the temperature, you press the button.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
now set on 18.
Okay.
So you now move across to the hot water.
So you just
till
turn
that's
it so that
flashing.
the hot water symbol's flashing now.
Yeah. So now you select that, and we've got it currently set on hot.
So if I want it eco or boost,
Boost, you know,
to boost up the temperature,
Yeah.
it gives it a quick boost at the expense of the heating.
that's right, yeah. So we'll stay with hot.
Yeah.
This is your power supply, if you think, or either
Yeah.
gas or electric.
Yeah.
You select that. We're currently on electric 2. You can be on electric 1. You can be a mix of gas and electric 2, a mixture of gas and electric 1, or just gas.
Yeah. So if you're
We're
off
on-
grid, you'll be on gas.
Yeah, so we're
And
on
if you're on a 16 amp hookup, you're in electric 2. And
Yeah.
if you only want 1 kilowatt of electric heating, you'd be electric 1.
Okay. And then you've got the fan.
Yeah.
And the fan, I've currently got set to high. You can have it on eco
Or high.
or high.
Yeah. Now, if you turn all the heating off during the summer, you can use that as a bit of a fan, as a
And
bit
that's
of
really good.
recirculating.
I think that's one of its
Yeah.
best features.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to go back out, you go back like that.
That's right. And if you turn the knob again,
Yeah.
you've got a timer, which we've never used.
No,
But you can have different settings
that's
on
right.
a timer.
And then you've got
The clock.
which I've set earlier.
Yeah.
It loses the time
Yeah.
when you're travelling, so you have to
Yeah.
set it up
I
again.
do believe you can get like a backup battery for it,
Yeah, yeah,
and that would be a useful addition.
yeah. So that's the time, and then if you go back, it's now telling you set it on 18,
Yeah.
and then it flashes between the time and what
And
you've
the
set it
temperature.
on, and it shows you that you've set it on electric with a
Yeah.
little electric
Now
symbol.
the top symbols, if they're flashing, what does that mean?
Means it hasn't reached temperature.
So if the gas,
If the gas one doesn't
yeah.
mean it's gas, it means
Yeah.
that's the heating,
Yeah.
and it hasn't reached temperature, it's flashing.
yeah,
If the water one is flashing, that
Yeah.
means that it's not hot enough.
and not reach the water
So
temperature.
we've reached 18 degrees
Yeah.
and we've got hot water, that tells me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
honestly don't think the Truma heatings are that clever, really, but they take a bit of getting
yeah,
used to. I think once you're used to them,
Yeah, you can easily get lost, in what's flashing at you. It's flashing. No, should I be,
Yeah.
you twiddle that and then you're
Yeah,
lost. I
that's
got
right.
set in the offset
Okay.
menu, got
Alright.
stuck in there, but no,
Alright.
it's I quite like
So
it.
shall we have a look around the kitchen then?
Yep,
Okay, so what we got? We've got 2 sockets,
yeah, we've got one pointing that way and one.
that way,
Direction,
which I think
yeah.
is a good idea because obviously you can't have 2 leads going down that way.
No, so we've had the toaster and we've had the Tassimo and we've been able to do it there
Yeah.
because of that. So
And
that's
there's
clever.
plenty of space for the toaster and Tassimo
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
worktop.
never had any issues with that.
Yeah, we've got a nice Prima Leisure bowl.
Bowl, which I think
Yeah.
we said before is a little bit
It's
high.
a little bit
but
high, but yeah.
It's fine, otherwise it does what it's supposed to do. Got an amazingly big drawer
Yeah, with a phone in it.
with a phone in it, yeah. And some bin bags,
Yeah, there's a surprise.
yeah. And I think we've shown this before, haven't we?
Show your wee measuring cup.
Yeah, which just fits just in that
Yeah.
corner there.
But these drawers feel fairly well made, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're not soft closing, or
No, they're just
no, but they
close
close.
and they lock.
That's the gas, isn't it?
Yeah,
The gas
that cupboard there.
So that's out of action. This is the dog's cupboard
Yeah,
and your toaster.
yeah. That goes all the way back. That cupboard.
It does, yeah.
It's quite
Yeah.
deep.
It's got all of their stuff in there.
Yeah, that one does. There's a little bit more of boiler action going on behind that, but that's okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So you've got the cupboards above as well, haven't you? So
yeah, these are nice.
Yeah.
I think I've said, you know, obviously they're a bit high for me.
yeah.
But
I think this cupboard would be, if you wanted a microwave, you'd have it in there.
yeah.
The drawback, of course, with that is you lose a lot of kitchen space.
I think you would lose those two cupboards
Cupboard
if you
space.
did that.
Yeah. The cupboards themselves, the shelves, they feel quite well made. Quite pleased with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Same sort of cupboard over here. Two sort of separate compartments really, but got our mugs in there and our mushy peas and pots and pans.
Yeah, so no, and plates in the end
yeah.
one. We haven't had, I mean, we forgot to put that in one day and the cutlery drawer came out
Yeah.
and to stop and deal with that, but no problems with cupboards coming undone or anything. They've been fine. The cooker I like, no issues with that.
What sort of state is this in?
It's
Used?
not too bad.
No.
Bit of condensation, I think, maybe.
Oh, right, off there.
It's a bit wet.
Yeah.
So we've got an electric.
Which we've used quite a bit, the
Yeah.
electric hob. That's good.
That's good. And these are two good size burners, and another little one. All controlled from here, and your ignition's there.
Yeah.
So you've got a grill here, which we haven't used. You've got the two for that. Obviously for the electric, you've got it's in numbers.
Yeah.
And the other ones you like with that. That's the oven. And then the other two there.
What's the oven like?
We took one of these out, didn't we?
Yeah.
It had two in there. I found they were a bit too. That was a bit too high for some things. I just took them out, one of them out.
It's good. It's a good size oven. It's not as big as your one at home, but
Oh no, we expect that, do you?
no, no. And there is another drawer underneath.
Well, we're keeping tins and
Tins
stuff.
and the Ridge Monkey,
Yeah.
and then your gas controls are under there as well. Okay. Oh,
Oh, no problem. It's everything
kitchen's been beautiful. Yeah,
everything
it's
was lit
been
first
really
time.
good. Yeah.
I haven't had any problems like that. You know, the oven going out or
No,
anything. It's
no.
just worked as we wanted it to.
And I have done some cooking with it, so
You have, yeah. But
I did film it, but
no sound, wasn't it?
no sound. So there's got a little flappy worktop thing here if the dog wasn't in the way.
Yeah, which I haven't really used.
We haven't needed to.
No,
No.
because this has been wide enough.
Yeah. Moving on.
Moving on,
The fridge.
a cupboard at the top, which
Yeah.
I mean, you have
I
to be a
mean,
giraffe to get.
Can someone tell me what's in there? Because I've no idea what's.
There, can you?
I can't reach it.
No, no.
But you've got this great big fridge, haven't you?
This fridge is great.
I had a little bit of problem opening it, this fridge. It's not the mechanism, I don't think. It's got a seal on it, and sometimes the
Yeah. It's a little
seal
bit
seems to
difficult.
create a vacuum.
But again, it's kept its temperature really well. You know, it's an automatic fridge, so
Yeah.
driving along, it's switched to battery. Then we've had to remember to switch the gas back on if we're parked up for any time.
Yeah. I'm going to just take you through those controls. I mean, the door pockets are a little bit shallow.
Yeah, they're okay for a
Yeah,
lager,
for a
aren't
beer
they?
and Moretti, they're fine.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is the control. You have to press and hold that, and it starts flashing to tell you what you're selecting. If you press that now, it'd be an automatic. Press that again, and then you want to go on electric, it would be that. Press that, and that's on gas. That would that's on 12 volts, so that would be when the engine's running. Press it again, and that would put it onto gas. To put it on gas, you press that. But I want it on automatic, so it's on flashing on automatic, and I press that. Then it says what temperature do you want. You can go up and down with the temperature there, and press it when you've selected the temperature, and that's it.
Yeah, it's very, very easy. As I say, we haven't had any problems with it, have we?
No.
Been able to store everything really when we've
Yeah.
been shopping. and-
Yeah.
No, it's great.
Been fine.
Yep.
Right, so we've got the hardtail door, and it's got the sort of traditional bin that you can't hardly fit anything in type bin with the handle, and it's got the screen there, and it's got a gas strap to stop it blowing open way up there, and it's got a fly screen as well, which I'll Probably will have to open the door to demonstrate. All right, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got a nice little fly screen door. So that's good. Yeah.
It's
So
solid door.
it is a good
yeah.
solid door, and
It's
as doors
closed
go,
yeah. and
Yeah.
open properly. No
it does its
problems.
job.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want to put wood in thole, that's ideal. So let's just have a look at this side unit here. That bit down there is absolutely ideal for dog leads. Perfect for it. You've got a nice illuminated handle. You've got somewhere to put the dog coats and somewhere to have a look at yourself.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say about this is it's fine for the dogs, isn't it, or
Yeah.
little people,
Yeah.
but when we've tried to put our coats on there, they're hanging down
And,
here,
they're,
aren't
and they're
they?
in the way of the door.
In the way of the door, so we've sort
Yeah.
of had to give up on that.
So we've started putting our coats in
Yeah.
the wardrobe.
Yeah,
So we'll come on to that then in a minute.
that's
Yeah.
the pump.
Yeah.
Pump on,
And off.
pump off.
Yeah.
That gets you into that's
The
the
menus.
menu you're on.
Yeah.
That's the lights, isn't it?
Yeah, that switches all the lights off.
Yeah.
You can do it
Don't-
if you want.
Oh.
That's it.
And then we'll come back on.
And
That's the awning lights
Yeah.
outside.
That's
so
it.
we don't want that on at the moment, do
No.
we? So this, you go up and down, don't you? At the moment, this one
Yeah.
nicely keeps the time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The other one doesn't.
Doesn't.
This one does.
Yeah.
So if you just go down, it's got settings. I'm not
No.
going in there.
No.
It says we've got nothing in the water.
The freshwater tank.
Freshwater tank. We've got. We're currently on the leisure battery, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is where I get a bit lost.
It's all right, keep going.
Just keep going. The waste level is 31%.
So it'd be an idea if we emptied the water and filled up before tonight.
Yeah.
back
Water
to the
level
water level.
is 0. It's
That's
telling
it.
us again.
Yeah.
It's 11 degrees outside.
Yeah.
The internal
I
temperature
thought it was hot.
is 25. And that's measured by this, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
There might be 25 degrees here, but 10 over there.
Yeah.
Right, so leisure current.
That's
is-
how much you're using out of the battery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
You panicked because you thought that meant your leisure battery was dead.
so vehicle voltage 100%. That means it's 100% charged.
It's fully
so-
charged.
Yeah.
We've been on a long run. It's fully charged.
And the leisure voltage is 100%.
Fully charged.
So that's fully charged.
Yeah. And
And then we're
it's
back
40
to
and 44.
yeah. That took me a minute to go through all those.
Yeah.
I can't remember where you use that.
Well, you use it in the
basically.
settings if you need to go into any of the settings.
Oh right. Okay.
Now, I've got to confess, we've had a problem with how much water we've got available. You see it says 0% there. I think we've got about a quarter of a tank. Now, we contacted Bailey and they sent us some settings to adjust this, but I'm not sure we've either not adjusted it properly or there's still something wrong with the sensors. We've still got water on board because I know it's coming out of the tap and I can see it in the tank.
Yeah, it says it's not.
So it says it's
And didn't
not.
we switch off the auto pump thing because initially the
Well, they
pump
sent-
was going off?
Well, that's right. They sent us some settings and I've made some changes that followed their instructions. I will have another look on that. I might update this video if I can figure out what I've done wrong. But we need to fill up with water and we'll double check that when we do that. So we're going to the settings. Yeah, so you've got all the various settings in there. You can change the display, the sound, the notifications. You can update the firmware and you can save and exit.
Right. All right. So that's mainly for that then, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so
Yeah.
that's it. Lighting controls are up here. I never know which of these is which. I probably just would. Yeah, so the left one is the footwell lights. That one is the lounge lights. That one is the kitchen lights. And that one is the back kitchen lights. And you've also got a USB socket there as well.
The double one, isn't
It's
it?
a double one,
Yeah.
yeah. It's one is 1 amp and the other is 2.1 amp. So you could charge a phone up on that, or you could probably run a USB powered TV or something up there, I suppose. The TV here, that's our TV. We brought our TV with us. They didn't lend us a TV, so we just brought our own. But the bracket that's it's sitting on, I can't do that. Need 2 hands for that. All right, you see it?
Yeah.
You come round here. you push that there, you can then slide this out, and that comes out into the middle of the room. It's adjustable that way, and you can tilt it, although I've managed to pick a TV that's got connections on the back and is actually touching the back of this, so I can't put it down anymore. But this TV's worked fine, and it's great for watching
in the bed,
in your bed,
or watching down on these sofas.
or when you're watching from down there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's been good.
Yeah, we've just been using our Fire Stick. We've not even used the aerial, have
No,
we?
we haven't. No.
It locks in place like that, and it doesn't move, so that's good. You've got the smoke and CO2 sensors up there. A couple more lights up there. I think that concludes the lounge department.
Yeah.
Speaking of lounging. You've got a nice sliding door here, but the thing we've really struggled with it is incredibly stiff. You get to about here, and it's difficult to close that last bit.
And then if you come out and you close it, then you try to get back in,
It's really difficult.
it's really difficult to get it going.
And I'm not making this up.
No. I mean, you struggle with it, you can imagine, you know.
Yeah.
I'd got in a panic the first day, I didn't think I
Yeah.
was going to be able to get out, but got used to it.
So I don't know if there's something wrong with that door. I suspect it's probably not on its runner or something like that. It's not sitting on a runner, or it's not hanging properly. But
It's a shame, because
it's a shame.
the idea is good.
It's a great idea. Because it closes off the washroom.
Yeah, and
I
it
notice
looks
it's
nice.
actually catching on something in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would look nice. It does. It is rather nice looking, but unless they can fix that, or this is just a,
First one.
an early production glitch.
Yeah.
Ow! See?
Yeah, I know. I've found that. You can't really get your hand in that hole in it.
No. And that nicely leads on to the washroom, and this is one of the really nice areas in the motorhome. So let's have a look round. Start with the window here.
No. Stop.
It's got some blinds in it. The window is not frosted, and the blinds are really stiff, and that's another thing I wanted to mention. All the blinds in the motorhome seem to be incredibly stiff to use.
Yeah, whether it's because they haven't been used much.
It might be because this van's been sitting for over a year,
Yeah.
doing nothing.
Yeah, they're very, very stiff.
They're very stiff. Got a nice big cupboard with a big mirror, so you've got all the sort of stuff that you need to fit in there. Nice square sink,
Yeah.
and a very nice tap.
Yeah.
The thing I would say about the tap and the sink there is, because the tap's not in the sink, you get water all around the tap as you move your hands to switch the tap off.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Which,
Yeah.
it's a strange thing. But it has got a domestic type plunger plug.
Yeah. And it's the shape of it is good.
Yeah.
And you've also got underneath it a nice cover, so we just kept our toilet bags
Toilet bags in there. You've got a couple of shelves there. You've got a toilet roll holder there, and you've got a standard Thetford toilet cassette and a spare towel.
That's Poppy's towel.
All right, I wonder where it gone.
No, it's
You can tell we've been using this motorhome, can't you? This is about the tidiest it's been in 2 weeks. Yeah. So just moving over into the shower. What do we think about the shower?
At first I thought the floor seemed a bit as if it's moving a lot under your feet.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit used to that.
Yeah, you can sort of see it's solid.
Solid, yeah.
It just feels like it moves under your feet.
Yeah.
It's got a bifold door with a catch there.
That's a little bit fiddly, but it's easier when you're inside.
It's easy when you're inside and you don't
Yeah.
trap your finger in it. Ow.
Oh, ouch. Yeah. I mean, the only thing where we were parked last time, water was collecting towards this end, wasn't it? And I was a bit worried it was going to...
Yeah, if you can see, there's not much of a lip in this shower. It's not. It doesn't go down. So if you're on a bit of a slope this way, there's a danger water can run into this area. Into this washroom area.
Yeah, I had to be really, really careful, you know, keep stopping the shower because I could see the water building up. Drain's okay, but I wouldn't say whether it's a bit blocked up.
I know it's blocked up.
All right.
Just having a look around here. Yeah, and as Jenny was just saying, it doesn't drain. Okay, the two plug holes are blocked up, and it needs to be unblocked. So that's another fault to report. But again, this has been doing nothing for ages, and it's been trampled about by lots of people's at shows and goodness knows what else.
Yeah.
So it's got a nice hanging rail up the top there.
Yeah, that's been really useful.
For hanging your towels. Yeah. That just sort of drops down. Get hold of it. Yeah, hanging rail. And we haven't used this. We've got a bit of fur.
Alright, it's come off a tree, isn't it?
Come off a tree, so someone's been sitting under a tree, and those pop up. It just sort of pops up like that. You can have it fully open. Good. I won't do it fully open. It's always difficult to do these things one-handed. But yeah, it's a nice size of a shower. No problems swinging cats and things in there.
No, I mean the whole bathroom you're able to change in there, aren't you? Because of the area is big enough.
The area is big enough to get changed, and which brings me on to
one of the other
what's hidden behind this.
Really
like is the cupboard.
This is amazing.
Here.
This cupboard.
And I mentioned this when we were outside the other day, and this is a massive cupboard. It doesn't look like it's very big until you actually start putting things in it. The shelves go all the way round. Just move the coats out of the way. All the way round there. Round there. It goes all the way back over there and over there, and you can see that we've got a tremendous amount of junk in there. I've got my laptop and my tools and cleaning products and t-shirts, towels, camera gear, dog stuff, rucksacks, power oak, cleaning products, and it's still loads in there, and you've still got hanging space.
Yeah, and the one thing is you know more or less if you're looking for something it's in there somewhere, don't you? Rather than is it in a cupboard over there or a cupboard on the other side. Or
it makes me laugh a little bit because it's like it's such a big space, it's sometimes difficult to find things, but I'm sure if we were a bit better organised and we put things in boxes,
it would be fantastic.
That would be really good. We'd have to label every box, but we sort of just thrown everything in here.
Yeah. But it is great for changing, you know, once you've had a shower and you come out into here, everything you need is in there. Yeah.
And obviously you've got this massive mirror, of course.
Yeah. I've been plugging my hairdryer and using that mirror, plugging the hairdryer in the garage.
Yeah, let me show you my little, well, one of my favourite things about the garage is actually being able to access it from inside. If I'm going to be able to show this, I might need that torch. Yeah, so I just shuffle things about a little bit, and this is a really useful space. You've got maintenance access to the water tank. That's how I know how much water we've got in the tank. But you've also got this area over here, and there's a plug that I mentioned that's in the garage, and I've just put an extension lead in there. So I'm charging all my camera gear in there. We've got the router in there. If this was my van, I'd tie things down a little bit better, but that's your charging station. That's how I see it. I think that's really good, and nice access to the water tank and everything else. The garage is actually heated. It's got a heater vent. You can't see it because it's hidden behind our bedding, but it does keep the garage at a reasonable temperature. And it's got a light in there, as I said. Only thing I would say, it'd be nice if I could access the light from this end without having to go outside, but there you go. That's it. And speaking of lights, it would have been really good if there was an extra, actually a light in the wardrobe. I mean, you could probably buy one of those stick-on lights. And admittedly, you've got the light from the washroom itself, but sometimes it'd be nice to see a bit clearer in there. One thing that could be improved is this door. The door is on a magnetic catch, which whilst you're stationary, it seems to be okay. But I've noticed a couple of occasions, gone round a corner and this door has gone open, because you hear it do that, and then you go around the other side, around the roundabout, and it closes again. So I think it needs a little bit better latch on it or something, or perhaps a catch, a button, something like that, just to hold it in place. Right, there's a few maintenance hatches that you need to be aware of where they are. There's one under the kitchen here by the cooker. Just comes up, and that's the waste tank. So you can see if there's anything in the waste tank.
Oh, it's a bit dark in there.
Yeah, a bit dark in there, a bit horrible. Needs emptying. Screw that back on. Just plonks down. And you've got press studs on the carpet, so that's quite good.
Carpets are nice, aren't they?
They're nice, but you can never get the press studs to...
No, to go back.
Yeah, but that's not got a press stud on it, that one, has it? That one doesn't reach. Okay. That one doesn't reach.
Okay.
Under the washroom carpet, there's a little maintenance hatch, and that gives you access to some of the pipes, and you can get the pipes that go into the outside, mainly the drainage, into the waste tank there, I think.
Right.
So I think if you pull those off and you give them a clean, that may be clearing the blockage.
That's from the shower.
From the shower.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I think I might leave that to Bailey, but...
Yeah.
Carpet is actually loose in the washroom, but it doesn't need to be fixed. But it is good that they have put press studs on these carpets.
Because they haven't moved, have they?
They haven't moved at all.
No, no.
Final thing I want to show you before we go to our summary is under this seat. I managed to evict Poppy. Under here, next to the travel seat, is the electrics. On the top there, that's the Truma dual battery charger. So that's taking the power from the 80 watt solar panel and feeding it into the electric system. And under here, and this is important because that's where all your fuses are there, and your mains electric miniature circuit breakers. So if anything trips, you can check in there to see what's happened, or if any fuses blow, that's where they are. So we just move the travel seat out of the way. To release the travel seat, you turn it, and you pull it up. That's it, gets it out of the way. And then in here, just move that out of the way so table's in the way. That's the handle, there it is. Let's move the table out of the way. And the door on its magnetic latch. And under here
is the leisure battery.
Is the leisure battery.
Which we confirmed earlier on is 100% charged.
We're 100% charged. The only thing I would say is there's only space there for one leisure battery. So if you're fitting another leisure battery, I think you'd be thinking about putting it in the garage or something like that. It's a shame that they just don't leave enough space for two batteries. Yeah, so what do we think of this motorhome?
I've liked it. I've enjoyed the last couple of weeks we've been going around in it, because we've taken it to various places you've seen in all the videos. It's very versatile. I mean, you called it a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
It's been versatile because we've been in it just two of us, so we've just used the sofas, we've used the drop-down bed, we've used the table in various configurations for ourselves.
Yeah.
Then we've been able to invite friends in, and we've had the biggest area for having friends.
Yeah, it's great for socialising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we've wanted to take people out, we've had the facility to do it.
Yeah.
So we've had all this sort of space and social area and comfort for ourselves. And then when we wanted to take other people, we've been able to use those travel seats.
Yeah.
Now they surprised me. I was a bit sceptical what they'd be like, be comfortable, or would it be good on a fairly long journey. But
they were comfortable.
They were comfortable. They were fine. I could see out the side window. I could look ahead, and didn't get any car sickness with them. They were good.
No, that's good. That is good.
Yeah.
Favourite bits?
Favourite bits?
Yeah.
Just going along in it. I've been really enjoyed the drives, because you've been happy driving it.
Yeah.
So I think that makes a tremendous difference no matter what you've got with your car, motorhome.
Yeah, it makes
truck,
the driving.
If you feel the driver is happy and enjoying driving it, well then as a passenger, you're enjoying the journey as well. So
and it is a joy to drive. So not just saying that. It actually, it's difficult to describe the ride. It's a little bit softer than I'm used to. It rides fairly well. It corners pretty well. I've no problem with it cornering. It doesn't crash over potholes.
Yeah, and other things, like the cooking and the washing up, and that has been fine. The storage in the kitchen, the fridge. We've been shopping, haven't we? We've been able to load everything in here quite easily.
Yeah. The three things that need fixing, in my mind. Do you know what they are?
Well, one might be the fact at the moment you can't tow anything with it.
No,
that even.
No, I mean, it is a drawback. So I think if you're thinking of buying this motorhome, you can't tow anything, but you can't fix that at the moment.
No.
So no, there's three things that I think I would like to see fixed. Maybe on the next model, I don't know, but I'd want them to lose those curtains. Those curtains.
Yes, we didn't really mention the curtains because after the first day, we've just left them like that, haven't we? We haven't used them. So in a way, we've forgotten we've got them. Yeah,
so I think that's why I forgot to mention them when we were going around the front.
Yeah.
But they are an absolute waste of space. I would get the dealer to fit some cab blinds, get some proper Remis cab blinds, and then that way when you're parked in a car park you can easily close the blinds, and you've still got access to the cab area. Trouble with the curtains, of course, it closes off the cab area.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And that was the thing when we were parked up, wasn't it? That's the last time I think we used them.
That was at Skipton.
The Skipton was to try and close the cab off.
They just
didn't do it. Didn't do that. Yeah, I mean, when you're on site, obviously you can use a silver screen or tailor-made screen, but no.
Please, Bailey, lose the blooming curtains.
That's why I think we've just tied them back and tried to forget about them. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is that door. Now, if that's a problem on all other Adamos, and perhaps people can let me know if they've got an Adamo 69.4, is your sliding door a problem? Then if it is a problem on all of them, then I would lose the door. I'd put a partition in there and a little door,
Yeah, but it's because of the area you're dealing with. You can't have a door opening out. You can't have a door opening in.
No, I suppose not, because it's opening into the kitchen.
You've got to have that type of door. It's the annoying thing is that on some things we've seen, they're very flimsy, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is strong, but it's sticking.
It's just stiff. It may be just a fault in the way it's been put together. And like I said, this is an early production model, and maybe the other ones. Like I say, let us know if you've got an Adamo 69.4, and I'll be interested in any other comments you've got on our review. Have we missed anything? Is there anything you need to add for other people to see? That would be really useful. And the final thing I think I'd like to see changed is the waste pipe. The waste pipe is ridiculous where it is, in the middle of the motorhome. So if you pull up over a drive over grate, you're crawling about on the floor trying to empty the wastewater. You've got it, and if you put that cap back, then obviously you've got to remove the cap. If you're on a service pitch, you connect your pipe up, you're crawling under the van on the dirty floor again. It's bonkers. Get rid of it.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, we've really enjoyed it, and I'd love to thank Bailey for letting us take their van apart.
No, we're very grateful.
Yeah, we
It's
are
been
really grateful for the opportunity to review this van, and I hope we've not been too harsh or left you with the wrong impression. We really, really do like this van.
Yes.
It's
been a nice place to be during the day and at night, and we've slept very well in it. And
yeah, enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think the doggies have enjoyed it as well.
They've been very relaxed in here, apart from the occasional people going past.
Yeah, and I think Bailey Bear has enjoyed it as well.
Yes, I'm sure he has. Yeah, especially the driving. Buttertub's Pass, he liked that.
Yeah. We've taken some fabulous places as well.
Yeah.
And I think because it's a small, it's not a small motorhome, it's a medium-sized motorhome, but I think it feels smaller. And I was saying this when we were coming here, that because you've got that garage and the cupboard on the back, it doesn't feel as big as it actually is. It's probably encouraged us to take it more places than
and we have, haven't we?
Yeah,
And we've had some great days out.
Yeah.
Visited some lovely sites.
Yeah.
Met up with friends. Had really enjoyable evenings. It's been a terrific fortnight.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's been good. I hope you've enjoyed it, and like I say, if you've got any comments, please leave them below. I'd love to see what you're saying. And be nice, be polite, be constructive.
Yeah.
And we'll catch up with you in the next one. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and hopefully we'll bring you more videos like this. And who knows where our next adventures will take us.
No, we don't know yet.
No. So we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Bye then.
Bye then. Right, so we've had this Bailey Adamo now for 3 weeks.
2 weeks.
Start.
Yeah.
And you've got your filler and diesel.
Filler and diesel.
Hang on. Have some more dog. Poppy, all right. Just calm down. Poppy! Oh. I think I might have to stay. Can you just hold her? Just hold her whilst I do this bit. Pick her up.